If you got in a car and you started your engine, then you're beginning from 0 miles per hour. Now, how would you actually go from 0 to 100 miles per hour? Simple question, right? Obviously, you need to start moving. And this is very similar to how building wealth works. I'm not talking about just getting by. I mean truly building wealth from nothing. Obviously, this doesn't happen overnight. You move forward one step at a time, slowly but surely. Sometimes you'll get a little boost along the way. Maybe you're a natural genius. Maybe you've got charisma that opens doors. Maybe you're just relentlessly focused. Those things help, but most of us aren't blessed with the full package. Most of us are somewhere in the middle. We've got some strengths, but not everything working in our favor. So the real question becomes, how do ordinary people like you and me build extraordinary wealth? And the answer isn't just in your bank account. You build wealth as you build yourself. Welcome back to Success with Steven. My name is Steven Smith. On this channel, we discuss all things financial literacy. And today, we're going to break down step by step how you can actually build wealth when you're starting from absolutely nothing. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So step one is the mindset shift. Every wealth journey begins in the mind. Before a single dollar ever shows up in your bank account, your mindset has to shift. Now, some people think changing your beliefs about money is nearly impossible, but that's not true. It's hard, yes, but it's not the hardest thing. In fact, it's more like mental training. You don't flip a switch and suddenly think differently about money. Instead, you build the habit of catching impulsive thoughts and say no to yourself a lot. You also have to challenge old beliefs and practice new ones as well. You can do this by starting with 3 truths. Truth number 1, money is a tool, not a goal. People who see money only as something to spend will always run out of it. People who see it as a tool to be used to build more money, opportunities, and freedom will be able to acquire massive wealth. Truth number 2, wealth is boring. Real wealth is not flashy, it's built slowly, and it often feels like nothing is moving. And the sooner you accept that the journey is long and unglamorous, then the better off that you're going to be. If you really want to hear my unfiltered opinion on this, I have a video called How to Make So Much Money It Feels Illegal. And in that video, I really go deep into what it takes to actually build true wealth and to get a business off the ground. So if you really want to just hear the most unfiltered truth about that, I highly recommend that you watch that video. Truth number 3, you can learn and do just about anything that you set your mind to. Money doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care if you were taught financial literacy. It doesn't care if you learned investing or budgeting or wealth building strategies. So you have to just do it. Again, this is like a no excuse type deal. No matter what it is that you think is the reason why you can't do something, you always have the option to change your mindset and to change the outcome. Once these beliefs sink in, the way you handle every dollar completely changes. The next step is taking action, because mindset alone does not pay bills. Actions is where the rubber meets the road. At first, those actions are small, saying no to impulsive buys and making a budget, things like that, cooking at home instead of ordering out, selling something you no longer use and putting that cash towards an investment. And while these actions, again, may feel very insignificant, they really start to create momentum over time. This is like a car going from 0 to, let's say, 10 miles an hour. Soon, brainstorming ways to earn more money outside of your job won't feel strange. It's going to feel natural. Like, even for me personally, it kind of seems weird right now that you would go to one single job and only have one form of income. In fact, now that I've been doing it for so long, it seems almost crazy that anyone would actually do that. But I remember not so long ago, it seemed crazy that people had multiple streams. So again, it just really depends on the mindset shift and then taking action where this becomes your reality. You'll catch yourself thinking like an investor, even if it's just $10 or $20 at a time. These actions, once again, they're not glamorous, but they matter more than any get-rich-quick scheme ever will. And doing this will bring us to the very next step. Step number 3 is behavior becomes identity. There's a big difference between forcing yourself to do something and becoming the kind of person who naturally does it. At first, you'll have to work hard to change your actions, but over time, they'll turn into part of your identity. Like, for example, because everyone else in the world tells you that you should have a job and you should work a 9 to 5 and it's natural, you accept that as just the reality of how things are supposed to be. But what if you accepted that the reality is that you actually need to do something outside of your 9 to 5 job? Once again, A lot of people, especially if you're watching this video, you might not like going to work whatsoever, but you still get up and do it every day. Don't you find that strange that you've programmed yourself to accept that as your reality? So what I'm trying to say is, at first, you'll have to work very hard to change your actions and to change your mindset, but over time, they'll turn into a part of your identity. You won't just try to save money, you'll see yourself as the kind of person who makes smart financial choices. And here's where that gets powerful. Your coping mechanisms change. I used to handle stress by spending, that's like retail therapy, going out, vacations I didn't really care about, clothes, and these things add up fast. But wealthy people often have low cost or free outlets like reading, exercising, creative hobbies. How many times do you watch a video on someone who is financially savvy and they say that they read books all the time, or they exercise, or they take walks? Like, you notice that what they're doing isn't the traditional way that wealth has been presented to you. It's not a Lamborghini and parties. Like, I don't even know if you're actually building wealth. I don't know how you have the time to even do all of that stuff. You're too busy working. You're too busy getting to it. So I always found that strange. For me, now most of my free time is spent at the gym, and that had became my new outlet. And look at someone like Warren Buffett. The man could afford any hobby in the world, but he spends hours reading every day. Bill Gates, same thing. Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Square, he runs. They've wired themselves to relax and recharge in ways that don't drain their bank account. And honestly, I believe that the reason why they do this is when money becomes something where it's not the most important thing to worry about in your life, the next thing you worry about is your health, because you want to actually be here long enough to enjoy the money that you've actually acquired. So that's something to think about. And when you start creating these healthy habits, you'll notice that your identity has shifted too. Step 4 is the vision. At some point, you'll realize you can't just work harder forever. There are only 24 hours in a day, and this is where your vision comes in. I like to observe a lot of what goes on around me. I've personally never seen a wealthy person with a 9-to-5 job who wasn't, let's say, an executive. Wealthy people look for ways to earn beyond their own time. Maybe that's investing in real estate. Maybe that's building a business. Maybe it's creating intellectual property like a book or an online course. You don't have to be the next Elon Musk, but you do need to think bigger than just your paycheck. Even if your vision doesn't succeed, you'll learn priceless lessons: how people buy, how markets work, what it takes to build something from scratch. Vision is what lifts you from just surviving to actually thriving, and it forces you to stop asking, how much can I make this week, and start asking things like, what can I build that will start making money long after I stop working? And this shift can change everything for you. Step number 5 is to weigh the risk. If you ask any successful person about their journey, you'll notice a pattern. They made money, they thought they were safe, they lost it all, then they built it back. That cycle is very normal. Risk is the toll that you pay for opportunity. And the difference between those who build wealth and those who stay stuck is how they respond to risk. Some avoid it entirely, others embrace it recklessly. Wealth builders, they calculate. They weigh the risk against the reward. And when they fall, they get back up, because once you've built from zero once, you know you can do it again. That knowledge makes risk less scary. And when risk becomes less scary, opportunity becomes more accessible. After years of learning, investing, and building, you'll reach a crossroads. You'll look at your finances and think, if I keep going, I'll be okay. But then another thought might creep in. Do I want to just be okay, or do I actually want at least some sense of freedom? That's the plunge moment. Do you stick to the safe path, or do you double down? Wealth doesn't come from playing it safe forever. At some point, you'll have to take the plunge. Maybe it's quitting your job to build a business. Maybe it's making a big real estate move. Maybe it's scaling your investments. The plunge is scary, but without it, you'll cap your growth. With it, you'll create the possibility of exponential gains. And again, I'm not saying take some crazy risk or put $100,000 on something you've never done before. I'm saying calculate the risk. I always say this in all of my videos: start a cash flowing business. You can leverage with other people's money, and then you can scale. I do that exact order because I know that if you can turn $1 into $2 without any assistance, then it's possible for you to leverage other people's money to where you can actually scale that into a greater opportunity. but you would have gone through a lot just to turn that $1 into two. And that's what I'm talking about. And we could be honest, this plunge isn't for everyone because it does not work out. Sometimes you will fail, you will lose money, you will lose years of progress, you might even lose confidence, but that is just a part of the process. The point is, whatever happens, you have to keep going. Step number 6 is compounding. Now remember all those small actions, the saving, the investments, the building the business, saying no to your impulses, they finally start to snowball. Your bank account looks different, your assets generate income, your momentum is undeniable, and it's not just financial. Compounding builds confidence. You're calmer, you're more resilient, less panicked when setbacks come. But here's the trap that many people fall for. You get too relaxed. They start splurging, thinking they've made it. Compounding only works if you keep feeding it. Stop too soon and you'll lose momentum. If you keep going, you unlock exponential growth. Finally, you can breathe. You've earned the right to enjoy yourself. You can take trips. You can upgrade your lifestyle accordingly, and you can celebrate your win after everything is done. But remember, enjoyment doesn't mean blowing through your progress. It means intentional upgrades that actually improve your quality of life. The goal isn't to impress others, it's to live in a way that feels good to you without destroying the system that you've built. This balance of celebrating without sabotaging is what separates those who stay wealthy from those who fall back down. At this stage, you've mastered the basics. Now, you just got to scale. Maybe you were saving 20% of your income, now you can save 40%. Maybe you were investing in index funds, but now you can diversify into real estate, startups, or private equity. The key is to scale without strain. Don't overhaul your system, just fine-tune it. Keep living below your means, but now the gap between income and expenses will grow even wider. And that extra gap becomes the rocket fuel for you building exponential wealth. And finally, step number 7 is to invest in others. I don't believe real wealth is just about you. I think it's getting to a stage where you can hopefully start lifting others up. So here's the irony. When you invest in others, it often circles back. The people you mentor or give advice to might become a partner. The student you support might spark a new opportunity. But even if nothing comes back to you, which you shouldn't have to expect that, the impact you leave behind is worth more than the money that you made. This is how you multiply your wealth beyond dollars, by creating ripples in other people's lives. Now you're not just building wealth, you're building something that actually lasts. Your assets are diversified, your income streams are strong, and your network is powerful. This is your empire. For some, it's a business. For others, it's real estate. And then for many other people, it can be a legacy project. Whatever it is, it's bigger than you and it's built to last. That's why I created My Success University. It is a place where like-minded people can come together and talk and learn about financial literacy. If you haven't joined yet, there is a link in the description, or you can also go to www.mysuccessuniversity.com. No matter what, all of this leads to one thing: legacy. Your wealth is not just a number, it's the lives that you have impacted, the lessons you've passed down, the opportunities that you've created for others. True wealth is measured not in dollars, but in the doors that you've opened for future generations. And that's how you go from 0 to 100. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. I always try to keep in mind that money is just a byproduct of all of our efforts. And along the way, people won't really understand. They'll question your decisions. They wonder why you're working late, why you're saving aggressively, or why you're skipping luxuries. But when the time comes, you'll have freedom, you'll have stability, and you'll have a legacy that outlives you. So don't wait, don't overthink. Start now, because every step that you take today compounds into something massive tomorrow. And wealth doesn't just grow in your bank account, it grows in you. And if you stick with it, your future self will thank you. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video, and you guys have a wonderful day.